Previously on Miss President.
I see myself in every girl who's been abused. And I feel now the burden, to look back and hold someone's hand.
Sometimes I see people whose homes are being taken away from them and I feel I can do something, which then also made me become a mediator.
I involve myself with a community service where I talk to women and youth in relation to starting of small businesses.
So for me, my political journey is basically making the lives of those in informal settlements and the poor better. That's where my heart is.
I raise the Nyeri youth voice to the county and national government officials on matters of employment, advocacy, and even getting our messages across to both the county and the national government.
Through the power of vernacular service and all these other things that we're doing on radio, you can empower the Kenyan so they can do more and know more.
So my passion is on better leadership. So I am just trying to mentor them and tell them that we do not want to be given 100 bob so that we can vote for people.
I'm passionate about first education very much. I'm also very much into women empowerment. That's a whole sustainable development goal.
We sold chicken worth 6 million shillings.
In 30 minutes?
In 30 minutes. But we are very glad and we want to grow it into something bigger that is able to support the economy of this community.
I have a lot of hopes for Kenya, and I'll be part of it, God will, that I would want to see myself in policy spaces.
I find a lot of pleasure when I give to society. I feel very happy when I see somebody that I have impacted.
I lost some friends due to abortion and drug abuse. As you see, my town is so cosmopolitan. There's a lot of tourism going on. So there's a lot of commercial sex work and early teenage pregnancies and drugs. For me, I just want to show the girls in Kilifi because majority of them know me. Even for us who are in the ground, we can get on top.
It's all about trying to speak out, to be the voice of the voiceless. The girls cannot speak for themselves. So I go look for donors or personally contribute my money, buy sanitary towels for girls so that they are able, because that is one of the cause of their dropout.
I have ambitions for vying for women rep in Nyamira come 2022. So I've not yet started going into the ground, but what I'm initially doing is just a physical study of my county and what it's all about.
I think we already have it locked down that I'm going to be the president of Kenya. That is pretty much locked down.
From a teen mother and housewife to working student to finance director in the development sector, and now an ODM specially elected legislator in Homa Bay County, representing her passion, women and children. This is Nerea Amundi. She is a mother of 4 and has been married for 24 years to George Omondi. And now, a quick look at the parties before elimination. Remember, somebody from each party will be going home tonight. It's been quite a journey. Wow! At a personal level, I enjoyed seeing our country, the development going on in many counties, meeting new people, but most of all, getting to know these phenomenal women at a more personal level, understanding what they are passionate about and what makes each the best fit to be Miss President. Every single one of them are active leaders in this nation already, working on impactful projects that uplift the communities they live in. Not only this, but they also have the intellect, the courage and experience needed to lead this nation. But the top seat can only be occupied by one woman. Who will it be? In fact, the bigger question is Kenya ready for a female president? In this episode 15, contestants made it back to the academy as one of our contestants, Bernadette Muyomi, gracefully exited the academy to pursue a very noble cause, and we wish her all the very best. In the next series of episodes, the tasks get more complex and a lot of thought and consideration must be given before the eliminations. Each episode is filmed over a span of 2 days. On day 1, we focus on training and a possible site visit. Day 2, focus on presentations, nominations, and eliminations. Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected, and they are battling it out at the academy, where they are going through a process of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations, and eliminations to eventually be elected Miss President. The candidates are divided into 4 groups, as leadership doesn't work in a vacuum. Leaders are required to work with people from all walks of life. While working within these groups, the contestants will be tested on their ability to lead or work as a team. You can be sure that at every stage of this competition, you will be at the edge of your seat as these capable women try to convince the judges and you at home why they should make it to the next stage of the competition. Here are the counties that are represented by the remaining contestants. Now, let's meet our esteemed judges for this episode.
I'm Dr. Zipporah Okoth. I'm a lecturer of film and theatre arts at Kenyatta University. I'm also the founder of the Lake International Pan-African Film Festival. I'm a gender consultant and a performing artist. I'm looking for people who are informed, presentable, firm, and have a purpose.
Hi, I'm Jerry Kirene. I work in the policy environment, helping various small groups lobby for better laws for business. I'm a tough judge. I'm no nonsense. The minute you come before me, you better know your stuff. If you don't, well, you can only expect a challenge.
My name is Michael Onyango, and I work within the field of ICT and also communications and public policy. And I want to ensure that the person that ends up being Miss President will be able to galvanize and take charge of the best human resource that we have. As a country, we are playing at the global level. So keep it locked.
The gears have shifted, the terrain is getting tougher, and you can feel the tension, the nerves, but also the quick comebacks, wit and resilience of each one of our contestants as they continue on this path to leadership. Today's trainer will take us through running and managing a government as an institution. This is an issue that is at the very core of managing a country. You must be having quite a number of questions on managing a government. So to get class in and listen to what the trainer and the contestants have to share with us on this.
My name is Kevin Osido. I serve as the Executive Director of an organization called County Governance Watch. The core business of this organization is to be able to work with counties and other supporting institutions for devolution to work. And we also undertake public participation processes through research and ultimately convening what we call the governance roundtables.
Welcome to Miss President, you at home. And from now on, of course, as you can see the determination in their faces, very quiet determination. The competition is going to get tougher. The training will be a lot more engaging and scarier because of the tasks that will be involved. Anyway, let's get on to the business at hand for today. Training topic today is running and managing government. Our trainer is back, Kevin Osido from Governance Watch, the Executive Director. Karibu sana, tumpigie makofi tafadhali. Kevin, it's good to see you. Karibu sana. So I'm going to hand over to you. And then, of course, we'll talk to you later.
Shukran. Asante. Hamujambo?
Enjoy.
How are you today? How has it been? First and foremost, congratulations. Very good. You did very well. Now, today I want to talk about running and managing a government. So what does it take to run a government? What does it take to manage a government? Running and managing a government is going to set you to work with people. And that then sends us to discussing about 4 things. The first thing which we'll be talking about is government. So what is government? And that government is the institution, that body, the tool that carries all the frameworks of governance. So it's like a car. You have an engine. If you fail to oil it, it's going to knock. That is a government. So it's like that box that needs to carry everything for you to ensure that your system is running. The second thing that we want to talk about in running and managing a government is governance. Governance, which is therefore the art of running a government, the systems, the institutions, the mechanisms, everything that you need to be able to have this institution that is called a government to do its work, its objective, for you to be able to achieve your goal. The third thing is, of course, leadership. You're going to be the one at the steering wheel of this vehicle to lead people either to the right path or to the dance. What will that mean? So leadership, which is therefore defined as the art of guiding or taking people towards a specific agreed upon direction. Last but not least is management. So what is management? Which comes from the word to manage. Management. That you're able to put together all the three we've talked about. You are able to put together an organization, so you're able to organize, you're able to coordinate, okay? Because as the head of state and head of government, you're not going to be relying on people to coordinate events for you. You won't be relying on people to coordinate activities for you. Otherwise, you become a laissez-faire president. Someone who sits and waits for people. Are you already imagining yourself as a president? Yes. What is one different thing that you'd make as the head of state of Kenya today?
Well, one of the things that I would consider is what is already constitutional, emphasizing on people participation. Yeah, so I would ensure that especially the bill is passed and this is enhanced in counties and in government so that people feel they own this country better than they are feeling right now.
Presidents and people who are elected do not understand that they're first people's servants, that they're employed by people and not the other way around. So for me, just breaching that gap between people and the leadership. We can always have call centers at the Huduma centers where people can call in and speak to people in government. The president can once in a while be the person behind the phone to just speak and listen to people, because you can't begin to say you're fixing issues that you don't even understand what they are in the first place.
You can only be one president at any given time, okay? You are one in about 48.2 million, close to 50 million Kenyans. It means that you cannot be everywhere. But that is why the next stage is, who do you put in what office? Because the Constitution has given you the room to be able to work with institutions. And that's why the second definition which we made is governance. Okay? That you have institutions, and those institutions are led by other people that you have been able to put in place. You seem to be having a question, Betty.
Perception of Kenyans, and me being one of them, is that almost half the current cabinet should go home. And they were actually appointed, nominated and approved by Parliament and as rightfully so in office. Why do you think they're still there with all these powers that the head of state, is having?
It's not as easy as waking up one morning and saying that you have fired 2, you have fired 3, because of the implication on the firing of these yeses. The president may not do it as we wish. Apart from representing their people, there's something that they're bringing to the table politically. So it means that if I sack Betty Adera, then that power politically that she was bringing to the table, then I will lose it.
How many people do you think are honest, have integrity in this country? Because when you look at the president, he has tried, for example, to sack some people. But the same people he brings, they still disappoint him. So I think we should take it upon us to now have the integrity, be honest, and be ready to work, because our country has a problem.
I want to suggest some of these 4 things that you could probably put together. One of them is a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth. Why is it you who deserves it? Why must it be you? Okay? And of course, looking at your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are a nobody, because nobody is a nobody, and always feel that you count, because everybody counts. And always feel that you have worth, and always feel that your life has an ultimate significance. That is what will push you into making it to be the Miss President. The second thing is, you must have a basic principle. that basic principle that will help you in the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. And you are going to be deciding as the days and years unfold that you will, what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. And once you discover what it will be, set out to do it and do it well. If it is about fighting corruption, set out to be that Miss President who is going to do it and do it well. Remember boldness, integrity, values, and principles that we spoke about. Finally, in your life's blueprint, because it's about the 4 things, must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. I thank you so much, and may God bless you.
I think the most important aspect of what we learned in today's class is the fact that as a president, you need to be very firm, bold, courageous, and to make some decisions that would not augur well with everyone. Because when it comes to issues like corruption, you really have to stand up and be that person, because the whole country has given you that responsibility to be the custodian of their resources. He talked to me. I liked what he said, that sometimes you need to be bold, you have to have integrity, and you have to be courageous. There's a lot of things that are, well, they are dynamics. I've discovered I'm not a politician in my way of thinking, so it is a challenge because I'm more of a logical person. So by the time I start thinking, I have to please, I don't know, regional balance, what. So I get it now. Sometimes there are things you have to be very careful about when it comes to governance. And I think our biggest problem is we have the most beautiful laws, but until they're implemented and put into practice, we'll continue having the same cycle.
The whole training brought the whole aspect of leadership closer to me, because I could learn about how governance works, how I manage my government when I'm president, and basically how to deal with challenges and how to even come together.
Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected, and they are battling it out at the academy, where they are going through a process of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations, and eliminations to eventually be elected Miss President. The candidates are divided into 4 groups, as leadership doesn't work in a vacuum. Leaders are required to work with people from all walks of life. While working within these groups, the contestants will be tested on their ability to lead or work as a team. You can be sure that at every stage of this competition, you will be at the edge of your seat as these capable women try to convince the judges and you at home why they should make it to the next stage of the competition. Here are the counties that are represented by the remaining contestants. Quick summary of today's training: running and management of government, governance, the art of forming a government, leadership, the art of guiding people to a specific direction, and finally, management, the art of organizing and coordinating government. Welcome back. This is Miss President. As is usual, we get into tasks and then the process continues. But I've noticed something. There are 4 groups or 4 political parties. Some have full, I think 3 of them have full numbers or members. 1 is missing a member or 2. So rather than 16, we're seeing 15. We want you to form a coalition. At the end of it, we want 3 groups of 5 members each. How you negotiate that is really up to you. The contestants have now formed their coalitions, and here are the new parties. contestants form 3 coalitions of 5 members each, with each coalition required to elect a president who will represent them. Here are the new presidents of the coalition parties. Very impressive. So give yourselves a round of applause once again. That was well done. We have come to the end of day 1. It will be a long night for all contestants here at the Academy as they work on their tasks as a team. So we are back to new group dynamics. Day 2, and here we are. Tired as some may seem, this does not stop them from giving their best shot at today's presentations in the true spirit of leadership. Are you all well? Yes. Okay, now let me take you back to the tasks that you are to present today. So yesterday you formed coalitions, yeah, and then because of course let's assume you were preparing for an election. So you won the election and now you run government. Deep into your first few months in government, a scandal breaks and one of your coalition partners is involved in a scandal. How then do you handle it? Remember I told you each and every one of you must participate, or there must be a semblance of participation on how it all cascades to the top. The top being the president who will eventually give the speech.
Fellow Kenyans, 3 weeks ago, information on violation of the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Act involving the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs, Ms. Angela Mamboleo, was received. As a result, a report from DCI Irene Mayaka, referencing to Anti-Narcotic Unit, confirmed involvement of the aforementioned Cabinet Secretary. Subsequently, I have this morning received and accepted a resignation letter from the Cabinet Secretary. I further direct that the DPP, Professor Caroline Shege, to commence prosecution action on the CS with immediate effect. I have instructed the Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya to freeze bank accounts, both local and international, held by the named officials, and begin asset recovery in accordance with Section 109 of the Act. In view of the above, I hereby affirm the new Kenya coalition government's commitment to uphold national values and principles of governance and the values and principles of public service.
Fellow Kenyans, in the last couple of months, our country has experienced the most turbulent and grueling election season since the inception of our democracy. As a result of the free and fair election conducted by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, you overwhelmingly took to the polls and heeded to the rallying call that I made to you to vote in change and work towards the Kenya that you want. As you are aware, there has been numerous scandals of graft making headlines in the media, one of which a member of my political party is involved. A close confidant who is also a cabinet secretary. While I'm aware that these allegations may just be a continuation of the post-election smear campaigns, in this view, the party's disciplinary and legal committee has since held a meeting with Ms. Katana in a bid to give her an opportunity to shed light on the Anti-Corruption Commission report submitted to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. However, given that neither the party nor myself have any investigative mandate, I hereby, in accordance with the guiding principles of our political party and the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, with immediate effect, relieve Ms. Katana, the Cabinet Secretary for Finance, from her official duties to pave way for investigation into these allegations. I further urge our investigative agencies and prosecution agencies to expedite their mandate on this matter and to restore the public confidence in the fight against corruption.
Over the last weeks, our country has faced scandals that have denied Kenyans their right to quality services. My government, the Tetemesha Coalition, continues to be fully committed to fighting corruption at all levels. As your president, I'm deeply concerned with the most recent scandal that has occurred in the Ministry of Roads and Transport. Our investigative structures have established that 7 billion Kenyan shillings meant for the dualling of the 200-kilometer Kikwetu-Kikau Road has been misappropriated. I hereby relieve Cabinet Secretary Joe Matata and Principal Secretary Jean Matano of their duties with immediate effect. And I appoint Jacqueline Coney and Jacqueline Waweru in acting capacities as Cabinet Secretary and Principal Secretary in the same ministry, respectively. I have revoked all contracts issued to road contractors in this ministry until further notice. I ask the Director of Public Prosecution and the Judiciary to expedite prosecution of all suspects involved in this scandal and do all in their power to recover the public funds stolen. Fellow Kenyans, corruption cannot be defeated by me alone as your president, nor can it be defeated by the Tetemesha Coalition alone. I need your support in this war by reporting misuse of public funds and abuse of office by any state or public officer. I assure you that my government is committed to upholding the Constitution and the rule of law. Allow me to end with a quote from Joe Biden, the former US Vice President, when he said that corruption is a cancer that eats away the citizens' faith in democracy and erodes their drive for innovation. Thank you, and God bless you.
It's about that time when we get to have our contestants, or we call them the excellencies in the academy, to go and nominate the person that they want to send home. You will nominate somebody from your group.
She came up with something that we had not discussed in the group.
She did not take into account a big portion of the task.
She's an iron lady, but on this task, that didn't come out.
Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected, and they are battling it out at the academy, where they are going through a process of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations, and eliminations to eventually be elected Miss President. The candidates are divided into 4 groups, as leadership doesn't work in a vacuum. Leaders are required to work with people from all walks of life. While working within these groups, the contestants will be tested on their ability to lead or work as a team. You can be sure that at every stage of this competition, you will be at the edge of your seat as these capable women try to convince the judges and you at home why they should make it to the next stage of the competition. Here are the counties that are represented by the remaining contestants. The contestants have now formed their coalitions, and here are the new parties. Hi, welcome to this session where we have a chat with the judges and see what their thoughts are. In fact, especially now when they've come much that closer to the prize. Judge, it's good to see you. Judge Michael, Judge Zippy. I'll start with you, Zippy. Transformationally, is there a change? You look across the 15 contestants. Is there a change?
I believe there's quite a great change. I think especially because now they know that we have gone to their homes. We have seen what kind of leaders they are.
Yes,
And so right now there's very little to hide. They know we know some truth about them. So they're coming out more strongly. We are seeing more of their colors and more of their personal traits as leaders. And I think that's a beautiful thing for the show and also for them as contestants.
That's good.
Yes.
In terms of their presentation skills, judging by what they display today, your thoughts, Judge Michael?
Presentation skills are great, awesome.
And that's across?
Yes, that's across.
All 50.
But interesting, the content needs to be far much higher in the sense that they need to be able to move away from using what is the current situation or the political situation in Kenya as their base and as...
So expand outside the boundaries of Kenya.
Yes, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, there's just so much more which they must bring on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Your thoughts, because I know you mentioned this, that you were excited. They were mentioning acts of parliament, they were mentioning certain parts of the constitution.
Just from today's exercise, one of the things I noted was, again, they're operating within the context of our current circumstances in our country. And one of the things is they feel that because the handshake that happened last year in March is really the best way to form coalitions. But the handshake has done what it was supposed to do. As radical as it was, it has done its job. What I would like these leaders to start coming out with is radical solutions, radical surgery, especially when it comes to matters of corruption. Don't say that we will just appoint, now that we understand there's something called an executive order, I will say now I have as my executive order decided I'm going to have people in acting capacity. As president, I would not have an executive order to appoint people in acting capacity. It will be something I am stating. It is a powerful instrument by the president. So at the end of the day, I'd like them to be more radical. Think outside the box. Even if it means you have to bring in somebody from another community who is not within the coalition to step in. That's what you do.
So who's going home?
We have come to that moment that will decide the fate of someone tonight.
Hello, ladies. Our search for the ultimate Miss President comes closer and closer, and we hope that the winner will ultimately become the first Kenyan female president.
Hi, how's everybody doing? Okay, fine. So I'll just go straight to calling the 6 people that we want to come here in front. Jacqueline Oweru, could you please come forward? And have a seat. Connie, could you please join her? Angela Mihaki, kindly come forward. Caroline. Gertrude. And finally, could I get Colette to come forward? Okay, so I will start with Colette. You are seen as a great support system. But in terms of being an actual leader, that seems to be an issue. Respond.
I think it is important for us to realize the context of that statement. Firstly, we are in a context where leaders are. And if everyone would take the opportunity to want to get into the leadership role or to steer, then that would be taken out of context, because we all have to, at some level, be in a position to sit down, to listen, and to cooperate. In the tasks that I have chaired or led as president, we have performed very well because of my ability to bring in direction to the team. Need I say that that was the reason why I was approached by the Blue Coalition to bring in sober direction and leadership. So if being judged as a leader is based on your ability to scream and shout at the top of your voice, then I definitely don't qualify there.
Great, so you're very good in supporting. Thank you. Have a seat. Gertrude, at this point, there's about 15 of you here in the room. Why should we keep you?
I'd like to be kept in the house because I believe I am a leader, and this academy has molded me a lot. And I actually believe that I bring in my experience in politics, and also I come in as a
as a potential future president of this republic, and this serves as a very good incubation center for me.
Thank you.
I shall begin with you, Jacqueline Waweru. Your group was a very interesting group today, being that your president had a very good speech. She appointed 2 of you in acting position.
Yes.
Why did you accept an acting role?
Other than having the other ages and other people and other capacities, still we need to give opportunity to young people to represent themselves and also bring insight on concerns of young people. So I believe that's the reason as to why they chose me.
Jacqueline Connie, so having been in a very dynamic group, you had a very interesting way of approaching your assignment. But when you came to the front and you were both quiet, both of you who are appointed in acting position. Before coming to that decision of choosing people to be in an acting position, what do you think you could have advised your president?
As a government of Tetemesha, we looked at the situation at hand, which was corruption. And because corruption is a very serious challenge in this country today, we opted to do drastic measures. And we opted to sack the PS and the CS. And because recruitment of these people, the PS and the CS, takes a long time, we opted to first fill in their gaps by choosing people. I was chosen to be one of them, to act in these positions as investigations go on, and also as we look at ways of recruiting, because recruitment of the CS and the PS will take long, considering that even when the president appoints these people or nominates them, they have to go to the National Assembly for vetting.
Have a seat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caroline Chege and Angela Mwihaki. Caroline, you have been considered a betrayer, the Judas Iscariot of our time. Reasons being, when coalitions were being created, you left your group very fast without second thoughts and went to another group. Then because there were barriers the other side, or for whatever reasons, you came back to your group. Many people feel that that was not fair, that was not right as a leader. They feel that you're just there for the time being. Is it because politics is a fight for survival?
No one is in a political party because it is fair and just. It is because what is the right vehicle, the right ideology for you at that time to get you to the seat in order to be able to fulfill the agenda that you want for the people or for your people.
Angela Mwihaki, when you came into the house, you came out as a very strong leader. However, with the time, you seem to be playing team. Being a leader is not about being a team player full-time. You need to work well with your team, but it's not about being a team player. And that's what I have been feeling, and most of the judges here on this bench have been feeling, that you're trying to play team. And in terms of leadership, we are not feeling you coming out strongly, because for this length of time that you have been in the house, many people watching you still don't know who is Angela in terms of character, temperament, opinion. It's not coming out clearly. So who are you?
Well, as Angela, I do believe I am. Not that I should be a leader. I am a leader. I think maybe the challenge is, what lens are you looking at leadership from? Some have experience as politicians. I am not a political kind of leader. I'm a leader who believes by example, by support, by building. So maybe I may not be as loud, but I do have impact, and that is clearly there. So it's maybe the perspective you decide to look at it from. If you want me to talk great allocates, that will not happen. But I believe in getting things done, and where I need to get things done, I am sure whatever team I have been in, they will tell you the integral role I play. A leader sometimes builds so that you have people at an equal capacity. It's not about just shining out there by yourself. You rise by lifting. Therefore, you make sure that we're all in the right place.
There's a statement you said, and Colette said it too, that if I am not screaming or shouting or being loud, that is not what we are talking about here. You can still be pronounced in your way of doing things. Even in your silent way, we should feel you pushing in your silent way.
So I should be more assertive.
Exactly.
Okay.
Even silently, you can be assertive silently. You don't have to speak loudly to be assertive. And that is what we are talking about. If I call your name, you will stand up. Jacqueline Connie. Angela Mwihaki. Colette Akwana. After much deliberation, the judges have felt it fit to allow you to go home. But the one thing we'd like you to take home is that you have learned a lot, and for you to come this far, you are among the top 16 in the academy. The three of you are leaders in your current capacities, but even in the house, we have felt that you guys have your strengths. Build on those strengths, because even in a country where there's the president does not work alone, Colette especially. The president does not work alone, and a lot of the advice on the reasons why a country is good enough or prospers is because of the advice that it gets from its chief advisors. I believe you have a great potential as one of the presidential advisors or leadership advisors in whichever capacity you may get. Yes, Angela, one thing I'd like you to take home is, I don't know what it will take, but I need you to open up. And that is Judge Zippy speaking, not even the academy. I need you to open up. I don't know what's holding you back, but you can remember anytime you've come to this bench, that has been the message. You need to open up, you need to let go, and you need people to see who the true Angela is. Because I believe you're a very strong leader, but there's something holding you back. Whatever it is, maybe we need time. Connie, I need you to bring your personal opinion into the leadership desk. I think you have been in office too long, and whenever you argue, you're arguing about the current practice. This is what the Constitution says. This is what it is. It is not about that sometimes. As a leader, it is about the Constitution. But why do we have courts? So that the judges can also stamp their own opinions in it, isn't it? As a leader, you have that privilege. Use it to create change. Okay? Thank you so much. And ladies, the battle is not over. We have just begun.
So I want to come out of here knowing that I have a lot of information through my skills and the abilities that I've gained through in the academy. And just to come out and have people to access this information. If it's going back to my groups, the Kenya Christian Lawyers Fellowship Forum, the Kenya Christian Professionals Forum, Hesabika, and getting what is in here into the head of many other Kenyans. So definitely you'll see more and more on me on those issues. Probably even TV interviews, radio interviews, I don't know. But definitely the fire has just been ignited. It's not been put off.
I'm much wiser and extremely grateful. I'm definitely wiser now. I think I'm getting to know my position and my understanding of things and how I want to do things. So definitely more things to come. And I'm blessed. I have created a wonderful network with all 70 women, so who knows what next. I mean, great friendships have been formed. And of course, the lessons learned are something that will definitely make me a better person in my everyday interactions. So of course, if you do see me out there, say hi.
I want to revive my consultancy company so that I do consultancy in areas devolution, in areas civic education and many others. Training human resource in leadership, in management skills, etc. And there is much more for me because I know I am likely to get bigger positions in the government. And if opportunity presents itself, I can also run for office.
After a busy and highly charged day at the academy, it's time to take a breather. For others, the tears and goodbyes to newfound friends will close the day.
We are now down to 12 candidates. The competition is only getting tougher. Watch an hapo. You be the judge. By the way, do you have thoughts, opinions, compliments, suggestions? Tweet us on @media_focus. Find us on Facebook here @MediaFocus on Africa, and also check us on Instagram @MediaFocus on Africa. Sheryl Sandberg said, and I quote, "We need women at all levels, including the top, to change the dynamic, reshape the conversation, to make sure women's voices are heard and heeded, not overlooked and ignored." Join us next week as we tackle yet another interesting topic and task on the next episode of Miss President.